What's up, otakus? Tour guide here. It is hot. Oh man, it hit close to 80. I think right now a heat advisory is in effect for King County. Um, yeah, it got close to 90, and I think it's supposed to be 90 through the weekend. I'll be working, so I'll be in a nice air conditioned area for most of the day, but um, yeah, I mean, luckily my house doesn't get all that hot, but we'll have to see how this weekend goes, because it usually cools down in the evening here. But if it doesn't cool down all that much, and then it gets hot again, it's definitely the house is going to retain a lot of heat, and it's going to start getting muggy in here, I guess. But it's a dry heat for the most part, so we're still good. All right, well, it's been a busy week. I hit up 7 shops, and 2 of them are half price books, and but I think the rest of the places I hit up, they're local comic book shops, and I'm gonna go over. I picked up good stuff at each one. But I'll definitely go over like the worst in the best experience. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I mean, overall, every shop I hit up, minus maybe one, were overall like positive experiences. I've been to them all before, so I kind of know what to expect. And we didn't pick up a lot of value on this haul. We picked up 35 books for $114. That's way more than what we normally spend. But again, we've got comic budget, and I tried to be super targeted, but like at the half price books, there was just a lot of like key books there that I figured, near mint key book, kind of a pricey book for half a cover. It seemed like it would be foolish to just leave it there. So, and then I got sidetracked. I was at one of the shops today, and I just got swept up in a cover buy. I was like, this is just an amazing cover. I'm going to get it. Fortunately, I didn't pay a lot for it, but I'll cover it. So, to kind of break this down, I'm going to go introduce each shop, what I picked up at each shop, and then we'll go to like my book of the haul and just kind of ramp up. We'll end with the book of the haul, which is one book that I picked up at Mill Geek Comics. So I guess I'll start with the Mill Geek Comic Haul. We only picked up 2 books at Mill Geek Comics. One was a 50-cent book, and one was priced at $30. But I was able to negotiate it down and get both books for $24. So I was able to, negotiate 30, 50 to 24. And that's the thing. I pretty much negotiated at all of these shops minus a couple. But yeah, Mill Geek, I'm in there all the time. So, it's like I have a relationship with the staff there, and they agreed to, give me the book for 24, both books for 24. So that other book, the big book that I paid pretty much $24 for, I'm going to be introducing as the book of the haul. So just kind of give you a preview, and it is from Mill Geek. But this is the other book. Again, I got this for probably free or 50 cents, however you want to look at it. And that is Wildcats, number 16. You know, I picked up recently 15 and 17 over at Hilla Comics, and this was there as well, and it was a high grade copy. You know, yeah, it's a near mint. So we just picked it up, and yeah, just loving this. Just really loving the Travis Share art here. Great era of collecting from the 90s. All right, let's focus on sort of like the worst shop, which was, and it's not a bad shop. It's just their back issue bin is pretty modern book heavy. They don't have any back issues beyond like the 90s. It's pretty just like a modern back issue bin. A lot of recent books. So they're selling comic books, and they basically, I think, take inventory and just put them in. They price them out, put them in, and then they have a dollar book section. But it's a lot of like modern stuff that I don't particularly want to add to my collection. But we were able to find a really cool Jim Lee cover, Wildstorm. This is the Jim Lee variant, number 3. It's a really cool, really cool black and white cover there. Well, it's not really black and white. It's kind of a gray tone. It's got some shades of color like red, but for the most part, it's pretty monotone. Beautiful cover. So I'm trying to pick up more of those. I know I had an opportunity to pick them up for 15 cents at Mill Geek, and I'm regretting I didn't because they're not there anymore, and I'm just having a tough time running into them, especially the Jim Lee variants. So this was the sort of the cover buy that I picked up, and I figured for $1, this is like it's like a $6.99 book, maybe $7.99 book cover price. So just based on the cover price alone, you'd have to pay like, $7 to $8 for this book. But it was there in the dollar bin, so we picked it up. It's a Frank Cho. So it's Batman and the Bold, number 1, volume 2, number 1. And it's this beautiful Frank Cho cover of Superman. That's just a nice cover right there. So, yeah, this was just a cover buy. I figured Frank Cho's an artist I like. He does a lot of cool like cover commissions, and I figure he's kind of an artist that's popular and in demand. And again, like he does the ladies really well, so it's really nice to see him do like the Superman, and he does a very nice Superman right there. So yeah, I thought this would just be a good cover to add to my Superman collection. That is a Batman collection, Superman cover collection. It's pretty nice. So yeah, like Phantom Zone, not the best place for a guy like me. If you're into like statues and like Funko Pops and toys, it's a great place to go. But I think and if you want to just get modern books, it's actually a great place to go if you're collecting the modern, especially like today's collectors, right? If you're reading and collecting today's books, a great place. All right, the next, I guess, location we're going to focus on is Half Price Books, and I'm going to start here in my backyard. we went to Half Price Books of Bellevue, and a lot of again, just like too much good stuff to really leave. We found this Hawkeye #1. Um, Kate Bishop's first solo series. This is like a $20 book, and we picked it up for $2. So, and it's crispy. It's nice and minty right there. So, I thought that was like a really good pickup. And then we picked up 2 copies. I have it on the front and back, also near mint. 2 copies of Hawkeye versus Deadpool, and this is a key issue because it's sort of technically the first appearance of the Gwen, so the Spider-Gwen costume and the Jane Foster Thor costume. But it's not the characters; it's just their look. 2 people, I guess, kind of dress up as them, and it gives us and you have no context other than okay, that's a female Spider-Woman and that's a female Thor at the time, right? And then they actually launch the official like first appearances, just right after this book was released. So we got 2 copies of it. This is again like a $20 book as well. So I figured for $2 each, not too bad. And then this one, that it had a sticker on it. And this is like my favorite cover in the Akira run. Akira #6. And this is I think his name's Kaneda. Kaneda's like biker gang buddy. Apparently, just gets his head blown off right there. And Kaneda's like mourning him. Yeah. Really sort of graphic cover, but just beautiful art. And this is actually in a pretty good, decent condition. It needs some like eraser time or just cleaning on the white parts, but corners are sharp. Just great for a book from 1989. When this is a first print, so paid $5 for it. I feel like I'd pay $5 for a book in this. I'm not going to pick up the entire run because it's like I think 30 some issues or something. It's a lot of books to pick up. But I don't mind picking up key books from this run. It's the Akira animation and the manga are very different. The animation sort of a synopsis of the comic books. It kind of takes and it changes a lot of the facts, and it's really a different it's a different piece of content than the manga comic books. It just flows better as a movie, and the characters. For example, I don't remember his biker buddy getting shot in the head, right? So that's not in the movie. So it's a more condensed. It stays focused on the story, whereas the comic books, it's a very long, like it goes off on different story tangents, and there's a lot of battles. There's a lot of it's really like Dragon Ball Z, but in a more sort of adult, very graphic, violent, and very, the visuals in the comic books are just incredible. You've got all these like explosions, you got these buildings collapsing. You've got just incredible panels of artwork. So, Katsuhiro Otomo is just like a legendary manga artist, and the fact that the animation, they put so much thought and care into the animation at the time. It was just a revolutionary animation, but fast forward to today's animation just blows Akira out of the water, but Akira is sort of like kind of it's like a placeholder in history as like the first sort of global phenomenon in terms of animation. It really brought Japanese animation to a larger global audience because it was such an art indie hit, and also it created the genre, a new genre, cyberpunk type science fiction. So it was like just really such a big event back in the late 80s for American audiences. So yeah, really happy with that pickup. All right, we'll get into, then I went to Half Price Books in Everett, which I don't make it out there all that often, but I gotta say, every time I go to Half Price Books in Everett, I pick up a lot of good stuff, and I should probably head out there a little bit. They still do half of cover, even though they price a lot of the older books like $3 or $4. They'll miss like $1.25 books. They'll miss $1.50 books. And you're talking about like 75 cents. They even had 75-cent books at half a cover, which we picked up. So, and they also have a 50-cent, it's not 25 cents, but it's 50-cent bargain bin. So there's a lot of good stuff there as well. So we'll just go. And most of these are half a cover. Well, all of these are half a cover except the ones that are either priced or, the ones that have like a sticker or priced on them. Those are either 50 cents or something like that. All right, so this first book is probably the best cover in the Identity Crisis run, in my opinion. It's Identity Crisis number 4, and you have this just beautiful Michael Turner Wonder Woman cover. That is illegal almost. Oh my God, that's so beautiful, beautiful artwork. So we paid, like $1.97 for this one. So half a cover of $3.95. I will do that all day, all night long. It's such a nice pickup. Yeah, I mean, we've been looking for this book for a long time, and we finally got it. All right, we picked up some Jim Lee Suicide. I've been running into Jim Lee Suicide Squad like left and right. So I'm pretty sure I can kind of finish up this run by him. We've got Suicide Squad number 5, which we picked up for 50 cents. And then we picked up Suicide Squad number 6 for half a cover. These are just 2 additional Jim Lee books to the collection. We picked up 9 Jim Lee books in this haul, and our Jim Lee count is up to, I'll give you the latest count here. $337 books. We have 337 Jim Lee books in the collection now. So here's another one we picked up. All-Star Batman and Robin number 4. Nice cover there. We also picked up All-Star Batman number 2. This is the Frank Miller variant. Yeah. Frank Miller variant of Batman and Robin there. Very nice. That was half a cover. So these are both $1.50. These are mostly $2.99 covers. Another $2.99 cover. This is just a great Joker Who Laughs cover. Immortal Men number 3. It's a great Great Joker or Batman Who Laughs. Sorry, it's the Batman Who Laughs cover. It said Joker Who Laughs. The Joker's always laughing. We have picked up another. I already have a copy of this, but it's such a nice book, and if you're getting it for $1.50, why not? So we picked up another copy of The New Adventures 35. This is the first appearance of Venomized Wolverine. A nice cover there. Beautiful. The Neil Francis Yu cover. Such an awesome artist. And we picked up some cool Neil Adams cover. Well, I'll save the Neil Adams covers for last. We picked up this one for. So this is actually it's Divine Right Zero or Preview. I think this came in like a poly bag with a different comic, just a preview comic. I love this cover here. You got Christy there with the t-shirt, "Shoot 'em all, let God sort 'em out." Shout out to Bronze Age Nerd. He did like a July 4th of the Divine Right Jim Lee variant cover where Christie's standing in front of, like, behind this American flag with like guns out, cigar smoking, which is a great cover. So this is just more of that, just Jim Lee goodness right here. On just, again, if you're nostalgic for the 90s, this is just the kind of stuff that was fueling the comic book market. So yeah, nice pickup. Now, so because this one didn't have a price, I was kind of like, sometimes they give it to you free, but the guy there is like, I'll just give you the bargain bin price, which is 50 cents. So didn't mind paying 50 cents for that. Got that for 50 cents. We got these for ridiculous. So I just had to pick them up because we got them for 38 cents each. Now I have a newsstand copy of 598 Burn Action Comics run. And, we've just been pecking away at this run. We picked up another newsstand copy, 596. Beautiful cover there. Again, 38 cents each for these. You just can't beat that. Such a good pickup. Such value on that one. And the condition on those books aren't that bad either. All right, this is so these next two covers are Neil Adams variant covers to these DC books. The first one we picked up was this just beautiful Deathstroke cover here. You've got all these like sort of you've got these great like caricatures, or I should say portrait sketches, and I'm not sure who these are portraits, these portraits are of, but I'm wanting to say they're like comic book creators, because I feel like there's like Jim. I think that looks like Jim Lee right there. That could be like Alex Ross up there. I just need to do some more research on this particular. But there's all these like sort of portrait sketches, and then you've got Deathstroke in the foreground there. But yeah, just a phenomenal cover here by the legend Neil Adams, and man, this is just a great Neil Adams pickup. I love collecting Neil Adams, so anytime you can get books of this caliber, in the collection, it's a good thing. The last book from Half Price Books. So we got this Neil Adams one for $1.50 as well, half cover. The last one we picked up for 50 cents, and it's an homage of. So Neil just kind of recreates his Batman 244 classic, Ra's al Ghul cover, which I have right here. So this is the original cover. Beautiful, beautiful cover there. And then he recreates it for Justice League of America number 8. This is the Neil Adams variant. And you got Superman. So you got Batman in the place of Ra's al Ghul, and you got Superman in the place of Batman from the original cover. The difference is he's got like this kryptonite saber kind of planted, and he's not. Superman's looking like he's about to die. So that is just an awesome 50-cent ad right there. Beautiful, beautiful book. So this was a lot of value, great haul. I mean, for the number of books and the fact that we paid about $1.50 for most of these were all focused ads as well. I can't say I picked up a couple doubles for sure, but in terms of like, was there, outside of some of the, modern books, these were pretty much things I was targeting anyway. So it was a very focused haul in that sense. All right, so we've got 3 shops out of the way. We've got 4 more remaining shops. I guess we'll start with, or we covered 4 because I said Mill Geek. So we got 3 remaining shops, and I guess we'll start with the place we went to first, which was out in West Seattle. And again, this is a shop I went to last summer. They had a big dollar comic sale where they just reduced the price of a lot of the books in the bins. I'm actually waiting. I think he's going to have another summer sale. I'm waiting for him to announce it, and we'll be back there to pick more stuff up. But we picked up some nice books from there. So they've got a nice back issue selection. They've also got a $1 bin. They've got a $2 bin. So a lot of different. Yeah, digging in that $1 bin, we found some really good stuff. So just gonna go over what we picked up. So basically, I picked up 5 books from the $1 bin. Hey, Lockwin, what's up? Thanks for hopping on, man. I basically picked out about 20. Let's see, 6, 3. So 6, 12, 22. I picked about $27 worth of books. And I was able to negotiate it down because some of the condition on the books wasn't like ideal. And he agreed. So he went from 27, he came down 20 to 22. So he basically gave me all the $1 books for free. He kept the priced bin books, priced as is. And then he gave me all the $1 bin books for free, which, is better than nothing. But yeah, we got some really nice books out of that $1 bin again. So let's start with what we picked out of the $1 bin. We picked up this. So I already have sort of like a VF Plus copy. This is more of like a mid-grade copy for $1, but I picked up another cover. I just love this cover. It's like if I run into this cover, it's like $1 or so, I'll pick it up. If it's this is a book that's normally priced pretty high, or it's not even available. It's such a fan favorite. It's the Stan with She-Hulk cover. This is not Stan Lee. He plays this like sleazy photographer, but it's kind of like he's supposed to be kind of, I guess, mimic Stan's voice and mannerisms and all that. So, yeah, $1. So this was free. I guess, yeah, we'll just go. This was a free book. Or no, how should we do this? Yeah, let's just say it was a free book. Was in the dollar bin. Picked up 2 issues of John Byrne Wonder Woman. We picked up 102 and 105. These were also dollar bin books. We love John Byrne. This was the real pickup. Well, the next 2 are the real pickups from the dollar bin. This was sitting in there, and I was like, wow, okay, I'll take it. We have Infinite Crisis, the Jim Lee variant, 6. That's just a sick cover there. That was in there for $1. And again, I got these technically for free, I guess. I don't want to do the math in my head. This one is I guess you could say is like the dollar book of the haul. Got this for $1. It's Justice League of America 12, the second print. It's the landscape, and just a beautiful Alex Ross cover. Now, we got this for $1, but this is like a $12 book. It's listed as a $12 book on Key Collector. So very happy with that one. And this is just like super minty. So yeah, these 2 books sitting in the dollar bins over at it's called Tales to Astonish. These $2 books are just like, I just couldn't believe it. So let's look at what we picked up out of the priced bins. This was priced at $6. And again, so these technically are priced at $22. So we have, I'll just go over the pricing as we go. So this is our first one, Neil Adams Superman, number 237. This has a lot of issues, especially along the spine. So we're probably looking at a 4.0, maybe 3.5 in terms of grade, condition and grade. So I'd put it in like the fine minus, maybe very good plus kind of range. The beautiful Superman cover. It presents really well. It's just the spine is really, if you get in there. There's a couple creases as well. Some writing on it as well. But yeah, it's a complete book. I looked inside. I made sure the staples are still attached, barely. But yeah, so we paid $6 for that. We paid $3 for this. This is just Brian Bolland on Action Comics. That is just comic book covered gold right there. Brian Bolland. Goodness, man, for $3, I was just like, yes. And we picked up another issue from the John Byrne Action Comics run. This is Action Comics 587. Really popping cover there. Paid $3 for that. And then this is the one. It has issues. There's like a little corner crunch. It definitely could improve from press. There's some spine ticks, color breaking spine ticks. But yeah, this is one. So let me back up. I used to have the black and white sketch of this cover, but there was a little tear along the spine. And so I ended up like selling it. And I was always in the back of my head. I was like, well, we're going to add it to the collection again. So I just wanted like a really minty kind of clean. Anyway, I didn't want to tear in the book, so that tear didn't sit well with me, so I got rid of it, and then I regretted it. I was like, I should have kept it, because I just never run into that book anymore, the black and white sketch cover of the book. So, but I really like this cover, color cover as well. And what we have here is the Michael Turner variant of Supergirl #1. I think this is volume 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. But that's just come on, get those eyes. This is just Michael Turner, like, deliciousness. I mean, it's just such a nice cover. And again, with the black and white, with the black and white is this same cover, but in black and white, and the only color in the book on the cover is the Superman S, or the Supergirl S, I should say, the House of LS. And that was just like what really sold that cover. Is just like, oh man, it's such a beautiful. So I want to get the black and white still, but we were able to pick up this. Now this was $10, and I was just kind of looking at the guy like, come on, it's not even a mint copy. This doesn't even like book for 10, but I understand why it's 10. It's just a beautiful cover. So again, he came down in price. He gave with the dollar books and everything was like $22 essentially. 22 because I said, can you do 20 on this? And he said, I can do 22, and I took it. So great value when you consider this is like a $10 book. So and again, everything in this little haul here just super focused on things that are on my wish list. These are all books because I left a lot of stuff there. I was just only wanting to pick up or pay for the stuff I wanted, especially the stuff that's priced out, because you know me, like I'm always about the bargains and the deals and all that. All right, so the next one is Everett City Comics, I think it's called. And I think they changed ownership, because the old owner, I think, might have retired. It's a new ownership in the shop now. And I got to tell you, there's just not a lot of. They got everything priced out, most of it like above book value. So, it's not the best place to get bargains, but they have sort of a depth of books, back issues. So I guess if you're looking for certain specific ones, you'll be able to find them. So I kind of went in there, they had a $2 bargain bin, which didn't have much in there that I wanted in terms of pickups. So I went right to the titles I collect, and I didn't spend as much time in there because I knew I wasn't going to find a lot of like stuff at the prices I wanted them. They had a lot of good stuff, but again, it was like priced to a point where I was like, just didn't feel like I was getting good value. But we were able to talk him down because I think what happened was the books I got were totaling $22. But there was sort of like not that there's a corner issue, but there was sort of a little bit of a corner bend on this book. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll drop that one $2. So we got essentially 22 for $20, but then when you add the tax, it's 22 anyway. So we ended up paying 20 plus tax on these 3 books, just 3 books. But there are 3 books that are just part of the runs I'm trying to finish, or just pieces that I'm trying to add to the collection. So we'll start with Wonder Woman 87. This one is a DC logo. So pick this up for essentially $6, or I should say $5, or I should say $4. And again, it's another great Brian Bolland cover. So I'm chipping away at this Ballin Wonder Woman run. Still got a ways to go, but doesn't hurt when you get the DC Universe logo. Beautiful, beautiful book. All right, this next one is one that's just been on our radar for such a freaking long time. Never run into it. I'll probably run into this in like the 50-cent bin or the 33-cent bin or $3-4 bin at some point, but we've never been able to do it up to now. So I just picked it up for $6. I did pay more than I wanted to pay for this, but now I have it in the collection, and it's a really minty copy. So Gen 13 number 6. This is it's a cover by Jim Lee of the Gen 13 team right there. Just beautiful 90s nostalgia. Yeah. Jim's Fairchild is just on point right there. And this one we picked up for $10, and this is one where I feel like, yes, $10. I mean, it's a very nice copy. It's a near mint copy. We picked up Action Comics 643. Shout out to Fanboy Prime. I know you picked up this book recently, and I was just like, man, you kind of put it on my, well, not that you put it on my radar, but you got me like thinking about it. Like, this is like on my next hunt, I'm definitely gonna like look out for this book. And I know I had mentioned that I wanted to pick up all the Perez covers on his. There's like a little run of where George Perez was doing the covers on Action Comics. But now that I have this book, it sort of satiated that. I'm just happy to have this one piece from that run in the collection. And it's an homage to Action Comics. It's an homage to Superman 1, the first issue of Superman. And you just got this beautiful George Perez piece. How freaking nice is that? This is such a nice copy too. Very minty and very fresh. And we paid $10 for that one, and that felt like a bargain for that one, to be honest. And if I run into that particular book for lower than 10, I'll pick it up every time. Such a beautiful book. All right. The next location we went to was, so after Phantom Zone Comics, I wasn't actually going to go here, but I was very disappointed by Phantom Zone. We only spent $2 there. So I was just like, I had, some money we were expecting to pay, spend a little bit more at Phantom Zone, but we were very dissatisfied with the hunt at Phantom Zone. So, Subspace Comics is just right down the road from the Alderwood Mall, literally like less than 5 minutes away. So I just drove there, and hopefully, because I'd been there maybe a month or so ago, been through their boxes, and I kind of knew what they had, and nothing was like really urging me or calling my name. So I didn't feel compelled to go there initially, but because of the experience at Phantom Zone, I was like, all right, well, I'm here, might as well go check it out and dig. And I'm glad I did. We actually found 3 books. We only came out with 3 books, but we found 3 books that feel really, really good. And we're going to start here with Superboy number 167, Neil Adams cover of Super Baby. And I love the word bubbles here. Super Baby doesn't understand what he thinks is fun is destroying the world. So you got Super Baby wreaking havoc. Another Neil Adams, and this is kind of funny as well, or morbidly funny, I guess. We got Lois Lane, number 88. This is the where Lois Lane has the guide dog. You'll always be blind, Miss Lane, unless you undergo an immediate eye transplant. But you'll have to take the eyes of this executed murderer, featuring the girl with the killer's eyes. um, yeah, that's just the kind of stuff um, to expect from that era of Superman books. All right, this one here is such an amazing find, and we got it for $3. Really, I mean, there's a little bit of a corner crease here, but otherwise, corners are sharp. Everything looks good. We've got Amazing Heroes 96, and it's just this beautiful John Byrne Superman cover here. This came out when Byrne was working on. He was basically revamping the Superman title with the Volume 2. So this was the Amazing Heroes from that time period, previewing John Byrne's work on Superman. And man, is that a beautiful cover or what? Oh man, for $3. And this could have been the book of the hall right there. It just felt really good. So many great Superman books from this haul. I mean, just wonderful stuff. So picked up a lot of good stuff, but the book of the hall remains. And this is a book I've been talking about on my channel. Like I said, it's at Mill Geek. When I have the budget, I'm gonna go buy it. I have the budget, and I talked the guy down. It was they had it at 30. I got it down to 24. I said it was at 30. I said, can you do 20? Because it's a mid-grade book. He's like, well, that's too steep. How about 24? And that's where we landed. And what we picked up was World's Finest 169. And this is just like the condition on this. If I were to like get this graded, I think it would come back like a 7. Yeah, it could come back like a 7 or a 6.5. It's in that range. It's just such. I mean, the only real issue here, you got a little bit of a break right there, and then you've got kind of a minor corner crease. It's about 3/4 of an inch. But other than that, I mean, it is such a nice, like the corners are sharp. The spine is really nice. The color is just so vivid. And, this is like a book from 1967, right? So just such a classic. I mean, this is Barbara Gordon's 3rd appearance in comic books. It's the first cover appearance of all 4 of these characters together. So just a really, and it's such a great cover. You've got Batman, Superman, changing the tires on the Batmobile, and their female counterparts having fun at their expense. So this is just like a book. Again, it's been sitting there. I was always worried that if someone would come in and pick it up, or because it was for $30 and this grade, it's really I think underpriced for what the book is. And then I could have picked up this like on eBay and stuff for like $20, $30, but it's a really like close, like low grade copy. You can't get something this nice off of eBay for that price. I mean, something like, like very goods are going for like 30, 40. So to get this one for 24 essentially, in the grade that it is, just feels like such a big win. There you go. That's the book of the haul. Man, it's just been. I gotta take a little break, so I'm gonna do a little updates here. I am going to Vancouver, Canada, next month to see Alex Bustos, our friend. She is an artist, and she's attending her first. She's attending her first sort of artist alley at these like comic book conventions and shows this summer. I think she just recently finished one up, and she's doing another one in August. And I just wanted to go there to hang out with her, give her moral support, and hopefully grab some good like Asian food while we're there. Now I got a day trip it up there. I'm taking the day off of work. I'm gonna drive up there early morning, spend the whole day. And this convention actually is selling a bunch of comic books. It's one of those like where the dealers can come set up. So there's going to be a lot of Canadian, maybe even some from the US, I guess, but a lot of comic book sellers at this event, and it's going to be in Canadian dollars, so I need to probably convert some Canadian dollars or something, but go up there and just come back with a bunch of books. I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep a very detailed wish list. I may print it out from the stuff because there's only so much you can do on the app. You got to scroll. So just having maybe a detailed, like targeted list of like 100 books or so will keep us ultra focused, and we'll just check them off as we're going. But we want to pick up a lot of books there. So for the time being, I am going to take a break from going to local shops because I've hit them all pretty much. I know there's a couple with big books that I've made a mental note of the price and everything, and there are things we could pick up. There's a big one that I'm it's a great price, but I don't know. It may be something we pick up this summer for sure. Because the price is almost too good to be true. It's almost too good to be true, but it's very pricey. I also want to pick up a Golden Age book, which is 1,000 plus, which would kind of put us in a predicament, a situation where we wouldn't have anything to spend at a comic book store or whatever. So I'm probably going to hold off on getting that Golden Age book. And I'm holding off on that other big book, which is like a $500 book. So right now, I'm just going to be focused. Again, we're going to make the list. We focused on the Vancouver event, which is, I think, August 29th, Sunday. And we'll go from there. I'm just going to spend the day up there, pick up as many books on the list as we can. So we'll come down. Maybe I'm anticipating coming back with like a short box worth of comics. If a guy has like just a short box of Silver Age books or something, that are, obviously they can't be high grade, but like like kind of readers' copies worth of Silver Age books that where we can kind of negotiate what what would you want for this entire box. Um, that's something we could do. Um, but anyway, we want to save up as much money from right now, because right now we're kind of at the baseline zero again. But just work, because I've got a good 7 weeks till the event, maybe 6 7 weeks. So we're gonna put in a lot of work, save up all that money, and just take it all down there. Not with the intention of like spending it all, but having the cushion to be like, yes, we're gonna pick that up, we're gonna pick this up, and just it's gonna be a phenomenal haul. That I'm just really, really, really looking forward to sharing with you guys. So that's a big update. Again, we're going to go to Vancouver and go to this show where we can pick up Canadian dollar books. All right. You know what the exchange rate is right now? It's on a Canadian dollar for US dollar. We're going to pick up so much value. We just got to take a bunch of Canadian, like I'm going to take, let's say I say we're taking $1,000 down there. It's essentially 1,000 plus Canadian dollars, right? So really excited about that. And we're going to be able to pick up Canadian variants, because apparently that's all they have over there, Canadian variants. I'm just like, I've like Canadian newsstand variants for like $1, and like this is the kind of like thing that is really kind of cool about this trip and this potential haul. So very excited. And again, we're gonna hang out with Alex. The whole purpose is to go hang out with her. And what's up? 1360 CDN. Oh, okay, that's a pretty good exchange rate right there. You're getting like 360 extra bucks. That's like in the dollar bin. That's like 360 comics for essentially like, yeah, for free, right? So yeah, a lot of good value. Thanks for that, Lo. So yeah, just looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. And look, I know you were in discussion with Alex about doing a project or something. Is there something to update there? Or I know you were in discussion with her just on like, I guess, things related to managing her career or whatever. But I hope you guys are still, I guess, communicating and in contact with one another. I'll be sure to say hi to her for you. All right. Yeah. That'll be fun. All right. Well, that does it for my haul. The past couple of days have just been a lot of digging, but you got to dig to find the gold. So hopefully, all these books are things you'd want to add to your collection. Again, 35 books for $114 averages out to about $325 per book. If you're looking at it from like a holistic, what did you pay per book aspect? So that's not bad. That's really that's cover price for a lot of these books. But yeah, this is the big one. This is the gem of the haul. I'm just going to give you another nice look at World's Finest. Batman, Superman. Such a nice book. Such a beautiful book. Yeah, I mean, I don't usually want to grade any of my books, but this is such a nice copy. I just almost want to just verify how nice it is. Because again, I would grade it at a 6.5, 7.0, somewhere around there. If it were to come back in that'd just be awesome. But we're not going to grade that book. We don't have bandwidth for grading, but maybe someday, if we figure there's like a run of books that we want to grade, that's something we could submit. This is something we might want to submit as well. This is really high grade as well. Just a beautiful copy of that. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me, Lok. And for those of you catching this on the rewind, be sure to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, we're gonna probably take a break from the haul videos for a bit. I really want to save up for that Vancouver Comic Con. So yeah, we're just gonna take a nice little break from picking up books. But the summer that's gonna be such a huge haul. So we're saving up to pick up big books at that event. So yeah, so be prepared. We're gonna come back from Canada with a huge haul, either in volume or at least in like some big key books. I definitely have a bunch of books that I'm targeting, and I'm holding off from getting them all here because I hope we can find good deals in Vancouver, at least with an exchange rate. At least we'll get that essentially like a 30% discount off the Canadian exchange rate there. So and then again, Canadian variants, Canadian newsstand variants, man, that'll be just a trip to pick up so many Canadian books. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep digging. Peace. Peace out. I couldn't end it.